everyone, it is Emily, and we are doing a reading wrap-up for the end of July/books. I am currently reading the first week of August, because I haven't finished any books in August yet. So, we're going to make this a short video, so here we go. The first book that I finished the last 2 weeks of July was The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee, and oh my goodness, this book is like my new precious baby, and I want to sing A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, which is a musical as I read it, but they're like nothing alike, and it's awesome. And basically there's Monty, which is also the lead guy in the musical, but he is on his grand tour of Europe. It's like in the 1700s, I want to say, and he, oh my gosh, it's focused on a male-male relationship, but he's attracted to both men and women, but they don't outright say bisexual, because at the time they didn't have those words for these things. But there's also like so many other things. Like there's a character that I interpreted as asexual, which I've heard confirmed by other people, and there's also things about learning about life and consequences for your actions and learning to accept people for who they are and growing as a person, and it's wonderful, and pirates and shenanigans in Europe, and just go read the book. It's perfect. I gave it 5 stars and I want to read it again, and I originally got it from the library, but then I wanted to cry giving it back, and they're like, maybe you should get your own copy, and so I did. And then I read Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare. This was a reread, and I gave it 4 stars because it's just really great, and I love Jem. This is a good book for Teen Jem. He's wonderful, he's precious, he makes me super happy, and just goes on again to say how I just really enjoy the Infernal Vices more than the Mortal Instruments. It's just better done. Just better done. And Jem is a precious, wonderful, wonderful person. And all the characters are great though, but Jem. Next up is Reluctant Hood by Kendra Meeks, which I think is how you say her name. This is the first book in a new urban fantasy series, and I was excited for it, but I didn't realize how much I was going to like this book. It is a reimagining of Red Riding Hood, where there are the Hoods, and they are kind of like the police / go-between between werewolves and humans, and then there's also Slayers, who are like the go-betweens between vampires and humans, but the Slayers are like all extinct, and the main character is like the daughter of the main hood lady, but she is now a student in Chicago, and she's studying biology, and there's like vampire scientists, and it was just really, really awesome, and I really want the next book, like, immediately, but this one just came out in June, so I probably have to wait for forever for the next one, and it was so good. So if you want, like, a fun urban fantasy that's also, like, a reimagining of a fairy tale, you need to read Reluctant Hood, because it was awesome. I gave it 4 stars only because there was some world building and character things that I think could be developed more, but that's usually a problem in first books, and I'm sure it will be improved in the upcoming books. And then I read Hunted by Megan Spooner, and this was another fairy tale retelling. It is young adult, and I was super excited about it, and I've heard great things about it, and it is a more historical fantasy, and it's a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, but there's also like a part of, I believe it is Ivan and the Firebird, which that was a podcast I had listened to on the Myth and Legend podcast, so I was super excited when I saw that kind of all tied into it, and it made me super happy. And this was really good. It's definitely more slow-paced, and it's more character-driven, but it's also a very true retelling of Beauty and the Beast, which is kind of refreshing, because I know a lot of people like how, you know, they just want to see how different the author can make the story, and this one was just really more about sticking to the heart of the Beauty and the Beast tale and like following the same beats, and I really, really enjoyed that. And it, again, it is a little bit more slow moving than other YA books, but it's not so slow moving where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm bored, because it's definitely more character driven versus plot driven, and I thought it was great, and I gave it 4 stars. Whew! So those are the 4 books that I finished at the end of July. It was a pretty good reading month. I wanted to read more at the end, but I didn't quite get there, and I am currently reading City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare, and it's fine. It's Mortal Instruments, but basically I'm just over Clary and Jace, and I'm seriously considering just skipping all the Clary and Jace sections and just skipping ahead to all of the sections with characters that I genuinely enjoy, like Magnus and Alec and Simon and the werewolves and all of them. So, There we go. I think that's one of the shortest wrap-ups I've ever done. So it shows that I can do it. I can do short wrap-ups, guys. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching. I love your faces, and I will see you all tomorrow for VEDA Day something. Bye.
I'm grateful indeed for your gracious bestowment. Yes, Wadsworth, I told you. I'll be just a moment!
Now, Monty dear, I think I now should go.